Attention, St. Joseph's Hospital stent patients. If you or a family member received a warning letter from St. Joseph's Medical Center in Towson, Maryland about medical concerns regarding a stent procedure, you have important legal rights. Call Saiontz and Kirk's dedicated 24-hour hotline at 1-888-STENT-11 or visit youhavealawyer.com. If you received this warning letter, call now to protect your legal rights. Call 1-888-STENT-11 for a free consultation. This is a legal alert for the users of the diabetes drug Actos from the law firm of Saiontz and Kirk. Long-term use of Actos has been linked to an increased risk of bladder cancer. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/Actos for more information. In June 2011, the FDA issued a drug safety communication to inform the public that the use of Actos for more than 1 year may be associated with an increased risk of bladder cancer. This information has been added to the warnings and precaution section of the drug label. Based on adverse event reports and other research, it appears that the manufacturers of Actos knew or should have known about the risk of bladder cancer for some time. With an estimated sales of over $3 billion a year, Actos is one of the best-selling drugs for Takeda Pharmaceuticals. As a result of the drug maker's failure to adequately warn about this serious risk, financial compensation may be available for former users of Actos diagnosed with bladder cancer. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with bladder cancer after using the diabetes drug Actos, call 1-800-583-4444 to speak with the law firm of Saiontz and Kirk. Potential claims are being reviewed for users throughout the United States. Free consultations and claim evaluations are provided to help users determine if they have a claim. And there are no attorney fees unless a recovery is secured. Call 1-800-583-4444 today or visit youhavealawyer.com/Actos for more information. This is a legal alert from the law firm of Saiontz and Kirk. For women who may have received transvaginal surgical mesh or a bladder sling for treatment of pelvic organ prolapse or stress urinary incontinence, a high rate of serious and painful complications have been linked to the use of surgical mesh. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/mesh for more information. In July 2011, the FDA issued a safety communication to inform medical providers and consumers about the risk of serious complications associated with transvaginal placement of surgical mesh. These products may be referred to as vaginal mesh, transvaginal mesh, pelvic mesh, or a bladder sling. Between January 2008 and December 2010, the FDA had received thousands of reports of complications associated with surgical mesh used for the treatment of pelvic organ prolapse or female stress urinary incontinence. Some of the most frequent complications include erosion, extrusion or protrusion of the mesh through the vagina, shrinkage of the mesh, pelvic pain or discomfort, pain during sexual intercourse, infection, bleeding, organ perforation, and urinary problems. A review of the data led the FDA to conclude that there is no evidence vaginal mesh provides any additional benefit when compared to more traditional treatment options. The lawyers at Saiontz and Kirk are reviewing potential legal claims for women who have experienced serious problems or complications following surgery where transvaginal mesh was used. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/mesh to obtain a free and confidential claim evaluation.
Attention, this is a legal alert for former patients of Dr. Nikita Levy at Johns Hopkins Hospital's East Baltimore Medical Center.
Johns Hopkins Hospital and law enforcement are investigating the unauthorized photographing and videotaping of certain patients who were treated by Dr. Nikita Levy since 1988. If you were treated by Dr. Nikita Levy, your privacy may have been violated. Call Saiontz and Kirk right now at 1-800-522-0102. That's 1-800-522-0102.
Health alert. Individuals with kidney problems. If you received an MRI with contrast, then develop skin problems including thick and hard skin, stiff joints, or limited mobility, compensation may be available. Call 1-800-LAW-5755 for a claim evaluation. This is a hernia mesh legal alert. If you experienced problems following a hernia repair, which resulted in the need for the removal of the surgical mesh, you may have a case. The lawyers at Saiontz and Kirk are reviewing cases for individuals nationwide. To learn more, call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/hernia. Several different types of defective or recalled hernia mesh products have been used during surgical procedures in recent years. Financial compensation may be available if your hernia mesh was removed due to severe abdominal pain, adhesion or erosion of the hernia mesh, infection, allergic reaction, or other complications. Contact the lawyers at Saiontz and Kirk for a free consultation and case evaluation. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/hernia. It's not necessary to know what type of hernia mesh was used during your surgery. The lawyers at Saiontz and Kirk can help. There are no fees or expenses unless a recovery is obtained. Protect your family. Don't wait. Call 1-800-583-4444 to find out if you have a case. That's 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/hernia. This is a legal alert regarding carbon monoxide poisoning. If you or a loved one were hospitalized after exposure to carbon monoxide, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Call 1-800-583-4444 to learn more and find out if you have a case. Or visit www.youhavealawyer.com. Carbon monoxide is an odorless and tasteless gas that can have devastating consequences. Even short-term exposure to carbon monoxide may result in brain damage, permanent disability, or even death. Thousands of people are injured by carbon monoxide poisoning every year. In many cases, exposure could have been prevented. Legal claims are being reviewed for carbon monoxide injuries that may have been caused by the negligence of landlords, hotels or other property owners, construction or repair companies, appliance or vehicle manufacturers, as well as other individuals or entities. If you or a loved one were hospitalized following exposure to carbon monoxide, protect your family and call now. Call 1-800-583-4444. That's 1-800-583-4444. Or visit youhavealawyer.com. This is a legal alert for the users of Invokana or other new diabetes drugs. If you've been diagnosed with kidney failure or hospitalized due to ketoacidosis, call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/Invokana. Failure to warn claims are being reviewed for the users of several new generation diabetes drugs, including Invokana, Invokamet, Farxiga, Jardiance, Glyxambi, or Zigduo. Call now or visit youhavealawyer.com/Invokana if you or a loved one suffered ketoacidosis, kidney failure, heart attack, or even death. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/Invokana. That's 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/Invokana. Attention, testosterone therapy users. If you have suffered a heart attack or stroke after using testosterone replacement therapy, call 800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Cases are being reviewed for users of testosterone gels, creams, patches, injections, and other low-T treatments. If you or a loved one have suffered a heart attack, stroke, or even death, call 800-583-4444 for a free case evaluation. That's 800-583-4444 or online at youhavealawyer.com. This This is a legal alert. If you or a loved one experienced kidney problems after using Nexium, Prilosec, or one of these other popular heartburn drugs, call 1-800-296-0368 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Lawyers at Saiontz and Kirk are reviewing cases for individuals with kidney failure, kidney disease, or another kidney injury. Compensation may be available. Call 1-800-296-0368 to find out if you have a case. This is an IVC filter legal alert. If you or a loved one experienced complications from an IVC blood clot filter, call 1-800-LAW-1060 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Cases are being reviewed for injuries caused by IVC filters that may have moved out of position or broken, potentially causing small pieces to travel to the heart or lungs. Call 1-800-LAW-1060 for a free consultation. Legal alert for users of Levaquin or Avalox. If you suffer from peripheral neuropathy, you may have a case. Call 1-800-720-9001 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Financial compensation may be available for nerve damage caused by Levaquin or Avalox. Cases are also being reviewed for those who suffered an aortic aneurysm or dissection. Call 1-800-720-9001 for a free consultation. Call 1-800-720-9001. This is a legal alert. Zostavax is a single-dose vaccine given to adults for prevention of shingles. However, some users have been left with persistent shingles outbreaks, hearing or vision loss, paralysis, and other autoimmune injuries. If you've suffered complications after receiving Zostavax shingles vaccine, financial compensation may be available.
Call 1-800-530-0216. That's 1-800-530-0216.
This is a legal alert for women prescribed Zofran while pregnant. If your child was born with a birth defect, call 1-800-LAW-7070 or visit youhavealawyer.com. Use of Zofran for morning sickness has been linked to reports of cleft palate, cleft lip, heart defects, and other complications. Claims are being reviewed for failure to warn women about these potential risks. Call 1-800-LAW-7070 to find out if your child has a case.
Attention parents of premature babies diagnosed with neck or necrotizing enterocolitis. If your baby was premature and fed Similac or Enfamil, financial compensation may be available. NEC is a devastating intestinal disorder that may result in lifelong injuries or even death for premature babies. Lawsuits are now being pursued against the makers of Similac and Enfamil for failing to warn about the risk. Find out if you have a case.
Call 1-800-414-2080 or visit youhavealawyer.com. That's 1-800-414-2080.
Is a legal alert for individuals with Parkinson's disease. If you were diagnosed after exposure to a paraquat-based herbicide or weed killer, financial compensation may be available. Call 1-800-817-8883 or visit youhavealawyer.com for a free case evaluation. Claims are being pursued for individuals who developed Parkinson's disease after spraying, handling, or coming into contact with paraquat. This includes farm workers, certified applicators, landscapers, gardeners, and others. Paraquat has been widely used for decades. However, studies have shown that exposure may increase the risk of Parkinson's. If proper warnings had been provided, this progressive and debilitating disease may have been avoided. Find out if you or a loved one may have a case. There are no fees or expenses unless a recovery is obtained. Call 1-800-817-8883 for a free case evaluation. That's 1-800-817-8883. This is a Camp Lejeune legal alert. Attention veterans and families impacted by toxic water at Marine Base Camp Lejeune. Important legal rights are now available for those who lived or served at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. If you suffered an injury that may be caused by water contamination, call 1-800-533-0401 or visit youhavealawyer.com for a free case evaluation. For over 30 years, Marines and their family members were exposed to toxic chemicals in Camp Lejeune water. The VA has acknowledged that exposure to these chemicals can cause a number of serious health conditions, including cancer, birth defects, Parkinson's disease, liver damage, and other illnesses. A new law now allows victims of Camp Lejeune water contamination to obtain financial compensation for their injuries, even if benefits were denied in the past. However, there is a limited time to file a claim. Find out if you qualify. Call 1-800-533-0401 or visit youhavealawyer.com. That's 1-800-533-0401.